Welcome to this Sorbet University micromodule on servant leadership. In this micromodule, we're going to cover the definition of servant leadership, reflect on examples, watch a video by our servant leader Ian Furr, learn how to grow and nurture the citizens as seeds, how that's relevant and applicable in our businesses, view an assignment, look at tools and references, and then of course ask for feedback. At Sorbet, we promote a style of leadership called servant leadership. What is it? Well, in simple terms, it's serving the people who are serving the people, or leading by example. So let's reflect on our past experiences with leaders. Perhaps this was a boss. Did he or she take credit for our work? Did they give us things to do of the utmost importance on a Friday at 4 o'clock and then require us to work on a weekend when we should rather have been at our child's cricket matches? Did they gossip about one employee to another and create an inhospitable working environment? Well, if that's the case, we'd like you to know that the opposite is possible. And today, in this micromodule, we're going to give you a roadmap of how you can create a culture of servant leadership in your business. And now we'll look at what Ian Furr has to say about this.
Beauty chain to be truly multinational across the world. The first truly international beauty chain in the world. That is what we'd like to do. So we have big dreams and big visions, and people need to know that they're part of that big vision. It's not just a little job behind a nail table anymore. It's about being part of something much bigger. And we need to inspire people to believe that, and to believe what we believe. And you guys need to believe what we believe, because otherwise we can't make this thing happen. The other part of touching lives, and there are three different elements of it, is we grow our citizens and our franchisees. So that's about the developmental side. It's about the servant leadership side and all the other things that go with developing people and building them and training them and nurturing them, because most businesses, it's about power at the top and pushing people down and directing them and controlling people's lives. Whereas here we're talking about nurturing them and pushing them up from the bottom so that they go out there and they grow and they start to do meaningful things, and they're able to make a meaningful contribution to other people's lives. That's why we need to grow them. That's the only reason you ever grow people, is that they can start to make a more meaningful contribution to other people's lives, not just about enrichment. Franchisees also need to grow as part of the process and to become better leaders and better nurturers of people and better servant leaders in particular. And we touch the lives of our guests because we make our guests feel good about themselves. I mean, doesn't that person look happy? How cool is that photograph?
So how do you grow your citizen as a servant leader? Well, to do this, we're going to use the analogy of a seed. Maybe from where you're sitting, you can see a tree or a plant. The plant started as a small seed, but in order for it to grow, a lot of things needed to happen. That seed is your citizen, and it's up to you to create an environment and all the elements in order to help that seed grow. Before we begin, let's just be clear on this. It's your role to create the environment, but it's the role of the citizen to do the actual growing. You can't make the seed grow. So here are the 7 elements needed to grow your seed or citizen. Firstly, soil. In the Sorbet community, soil is the functional working environment where citizens have everything they need to do their work. We once had a salon that was consistently losing citizens. The turnover was really high and the franchise partner seemed terrific, so we couldn't figure it out. But what we did find out is that they were consistently out of popular gelish colors. Now this was so simple and so fixable. 2, water. We water our citizens with consistent training. This may be formal training in a classroom environment, or it might be keeping the citizens up to date with the latest trends or learning from guest feedback. Whatever the type of training, we know that citizens can't grow unless they are watered with training consistently. And you have many tools from Support Office to help you with the training for your citizens. Thirdly, keeping out the rocks. A seed growing into a plant needs a clear path. So citizens need to know their role and what's expected of them. There's a tendency for a boss to create rules and try to keep people in line. In a servant leadership environment, working together to cast a vision and working towards a higher purpose often makes arbitrary rules unnecessary. When rules are necessary, the community works together to develop a set of guiding principles that will lead them towards where they aim to go. 4. Keeping out the weeds. Similarly, a sprouting seed can be choked by weeds. You'll remember from our initial example of bad bosses that a leader can play a primary role as the one who sets the tone for relationships in the new environment. A servant leader is key in guiding and helping to develop positive relationships in the community. 5 is sun. You'll see that there is a common denominator in the way servant leaders help to grow their citizens, and that is by radiating a warmth that can only be developed through actions of empathetic listening and coaching. And this is going to be addressed in upcoming micromodules. This is a very powerful function where the citizen feels that they are an important part of the community and they have the power to help grow not only themselves, but also others. 6, fertilizer. This key element can be used to help boost the growth of an individual seed or all the seeds in your community. The power of a sprinkle of inspiration and encouragement has been known to be rocket fuel in some of our salons. We often see this when there's been a shift in leadership. Neglected citizens suddenly feel that they're part of something bigger than themselves and feel part of a community heading to a higher purpose. 7, genuine care. Without this key ingredient, none of the previous elements will have any power in helping to grow a seed to its full potential. You must be consistent and you must be present. You're not only cultivating one seed, rather you are growing a garden. It's true, wildflowers can pop up in cracks in the sidewalk with very little effort, but that's not what you're going for. Your aim is to cultivate the seeds of your environment into the beautiful gardens of Versailles. So here's an overview of the 7 elements: soil, water, keeping out the rocks, weeds, sun, fertilizer, and genuine care. So your assignment now is to complete a self-assessment of servant leadership, which is attached in the links below. Have a look at how you are comparing to these 7 elements of servant leadership in your store. What tools and references are available? Well, there's links to Ian's TED Talk on servant leadership, as well as a video tutorial. There's the self-assessment and other tools that are attached to this micro module. And of course, you always have the support of those at Support Office and also your area manager who can assist you in assessing how you are doing as a servant leader. So thank you for watching this micro module, and please give us feedback on what it's like to practice these 7 elements of servant leadership. What difference is it going to make for you? Well, you're going to retain your citizens, you're going to develop them, you're going to have happy citizens, and then also happy guests. Thank you so much for watching this Sorbet University micro module on servant leadership.